It's the most wonderful time of the year for Star Wars fans, as the brand's biggest event, Celebration, winds up in Chicago. We got our first taste of Episode 9, a look at the Mandalorian TV show, and for gamers, the reveal of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order caused quite a commotion, as if millions of nerds suddenly cried out in elation. It's been quite some time since we were treated to an objectively good Star Wars game. There was a time when we were spoiled. The days of TIE Fighter, Super Star Wars, the days of KOTOR and Battlefront 2, the old one. Hell, even the Force Unleashed games had their moments. And while Battlefront 2, the new one, is potentially the sexiest thing ever crafted out of pixels, it's still a devastatingly shallow experience, made worse by a microtransaction system which, by comparison, makes Palpatine look like a pretty decent guy. The series deserves a win, and Respawn Entertainment have an excellent shot at delivering that with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The reveal trailer gave us a little taste of what to expect, and there's some exciting things in there for Star Wars fans. The game is set after the execution of Order 66, but seems to be well before Aunt Beru got cooked. Rest in peace. It's hard to be precise, but we do know that the clone troopers have been superseded by Imperial stormtroopers, so the Empire seems to be in full swing. As a Padawan who survived the Clone Wars and the first wave of Jedi genocide, unlike this little coward, we're dropped in on a pretty cool part of the Skywalker saga timeline. Worlds are reeling from the war, and the Empire is ruthlessly fortifying their power over the galaxy. It's an opportunity for a dark and mature story, and it has the potential for some real humanity in its storytelling. Speaking of, the main character is Cal Kestis. Incidentally, I was diagnosed with a terrible case of Cal Kestis in my party-going youth. But popping antibiotics twice daily isn't going to cure us of this boring casting. I'm gonna rant a little here, so feel free to mark this timecode when you comment about the ABC being a PC snowflake cuckhaven. But in a galaxy of infinite possibilities, why on earth give us a less attractive American Ewan McGregor as a protagonist? The actor, Cameron Monaghan, is undeniably talented. He's brilliant in the US version of Shameless, and like a certain Skywalker before him, plays Batman's greatest nemesis, the Joker, in the sometimes enjoyable Gotham TV show.
Now, to free the rest of our cronies and blow this pop stand.
A man of that talent is bound to be fantastic in this, but it's the most white bread decision they could have made. They may as well have cast this kid from the US Duracell ad. I mean, we could have been a Twi'lek or a Zabrak, but instead we get to be little Brandon Freedomsley here.
Never underestimate the power of imagination.
Look, he may win me over, but I can't say I was excited at the reveal. However, I am excited by what we've seen of the character's arc so far. As a Padawan on the run, he's certainly hiding in plain sight as a scrapper for the Empire. One of the first interesting shots to note is of Cal during his day-to-day scrapping gig on the planet Bracca, where he stumbles across what appears to be an Eta II Actus-class interceptor. These starships were piloted exclusively by Jedi during the Clone Wars, and to my knowledge have always appeared branded with the symbol of the Galactic Republic. Here, however, we can see the insignia is that of the Jedi Order, possibly hinting at the importance of the ship's former owner. Could be nothing, but I'd like to think it's Mace Windu's pimped up ride. Either way, it could serve as an important find for Cal, maybe containing useful information about other remaining Jedi, or better yet, a way off this rainy old rock. I mean, hell, someone even left a perfectly good R2 unit behind with it. Another interesting reveal is what looks to be the main antagonist, known as the Second Sister, one of the Empire's Inquisitors. This Force-sensitive assassin actually made her debut appearance in the Darth Vader comic book series, as one of the elite squad tasked with hunting down remaining Jedi under the guidance of old angry Anakin himself. Rumoured to be a fallen Jedi and sibling of the Seventh Sister, who appeared in the Rebels TV series, there's a strong chance she'll wield a saber herself, possibly even one of these unfair fancy spinning ones. And while only briefly appearing in the trailer, we do get a glimpse of her utilising some of her most ancient and powerful Sith abilities, slightly breaking glass. We do also get to see one of Cal's moves in full force as he flees from troopers and even a couple of Alan Tudyks.
Congratulations, you are being rescued.
He does this with some good old-fashioned wall running. Well, this is a new one for Star Wars, but it's definitely well-trodden vertical ground for developers Respawn, whose previous work, Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends, include some of the most fluid and enjoyable character movement we've ever experienced. I'm confident we can look forward to some hardcore Padawan parkour. The rest of the action in the trailer focuses around a melee fight against a tough-looking Purge trooper armed with a shock stick, which is likely to give your saber a run for its credits. And finally, the trailer ends as Cal inherits his own saber in need of some serious repair. The developers have hinted that this weapon will evolve through the game with you, the obvious guess being through some form of functional customization, and that could play into Respawn's other big statement that the game will focus on thoughtful combat, so hopefully we're in for some seriously technical laser swordplay. With the game releasing later this year, we're bound to learn a whole lot more at this year's E3, but for now, I think we're all just happy to hear these delightful words from the developers.
This is a story game, no multiplayer, no microtransactions. It's about being a Jedi.
Speaking of, the main character is Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis?